Whew. This is so funny. I wish Mike was on this episode. I don't know where he's at, what he's doing. He's probably focusing on some stuff. But welcome
Yeah,
everybody.
that dude's been. Yeah, I always thought Mike was an introvert, but that man is not. That man is not.
What does that mean?
You know what an introvert is, right?
Yeah, someone who stays within, sticks to themselves.
Yeah. So, a person who like.
So you think he's an extrovert?
No, no, not entirely. Like he's not actually as extroverted
But he
as
has his
someone like
moments.
Charlie. Right.
I'm probably
But
of all of us the most extroverted person in terms of.
yeah.
I'm
Definitely,
just
I
I
would
don't
agree
give a
with
shit. I'm just like, hey everybody, I'm Pablo. I don't know why that's all right, but why is
that.
Mike semi extroverted?
Well, not semi. I think he has. I think he has extroverted tendencies because, like, you would think Mike would be the type of person who would thrive, like working at home, chilling.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah.
And he's been like, yo,
He's
I've been
bugging
so
out.
bored. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
like itching, like to get out, like to just to do something,
that's
to
true.
breathe.
Yeah, that's true. He has. Yeah, you're. I see what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, Mike, if you're listening to this, hello. And those that are listening, welcome to the Facts Not Included Quarantine Edition of Facts Not Included
We
Tangent
should, we
Fridays.
should have like the we should have like a kind of like
A
a video
theme?
going on,
Oh.
like of you just
Just
your face.
the worst versions of the of the coronavirus logos. Have you seen the looking of it? Like the
Oh my god, no
It
one
is-
knows what the fuck it looks
It
like.
is the scariest looking virus I've ever seen. Quick little thing: if you can look up coronavirus, "Make America Great" hats. I think one of our friends shared it. It's a picture of the coronavirus, and then as you keep zooming in, it's little "Make America Great" hats that create the little redness that is the coronavirus. Again, we're not trying to make this a political episode. It's just really funny. It's pretty funny. Anyway, yeah, Mike. If you're listening to this, we love you, but calm the fuck down, man. Calm down.
Yeah,
We're gonna get through this, man.
He's like so bored, dude. Like
He's
you
bugging
can
out.
tell because he started like snapping me and like he's snapping me his screen and he's got like 5 different emails opened up. Like I don't know if that's his normal like work, but like it's just really
I've gotten
funny.
that.
He's just like
Yeah.
5 different open emails
He-
chilling because he doesn't know
He's sending me
bored out.
pictures of cups of tea, his desk, what it looks like. He's random. I think he's randomly taking walks now. Like, I hope his boss isn't listening to this, but he's just strolling the streets of Bay Ridge whenever he can, to get rid of
Yeah.
that angst.
Speaking on that, like it's crazy to me like that people are still going out. Like
Yeah.
Hey,
Well, I mean,
I-
we've talked
can't
about
do
this
that.
a little bit. There's this weird thought process out there now with a lot of people, which is this isn't as serious as they say it is, and then the other side is this is extremely the worst thing that's ever happened to humankind. Two extremes, as we do as human beings, we always go to the extremes. I think most people are realizing, yeah, we should just take it easy and not go outside.
Right.
But there are those that have no choice, that have to go outside, that have to take care of other people, so they have to buy certain things and,
Oh
and
yeah,
pick
yeah.
up certain
See,
stuff.
see, I don't like that's the thing. It's like
But then-
okay, I get it. I get it if you're going to the supermarket. I get it if you're going to the pharmacy. I get it if you're going to the doctor for whatever reason. But like, I still see people going to like the gym or like going to a park.
Well, yeah, but
or, like-
gyms are closed, right? Isn't
No,
that
but
the...
some of them I don't know. Like
I
saw
think. Well, hey, for those that don't know, we live in New York, and Governor Cuomo, the say what you want about
I
the
can't say what I usually call them, but okay.
say what you want about the man. Again,
No,
Democrats
just, like,
love the
calling
guy, but a lot of Democrats don't like him. Like whatever. He's loved by all sides and hated by all sides. I'll say that.
True.
But I will say this: he's taken this very seriously. Him and Donald Trump, as I'm trying to steer away from politics as much as you can, but you can't do that when you're talking about the virus. Have worked together pretty good, pretty well. I'm sounding like Trump now. They've worked pretty well together, and things are looking good in New York. Though
Okay.
we are the epicenter here. What would happen?
No. That's I'm
You're-
just imitating our president
Oh,
after the. Okay.
things we're gonna hit the V curve. It's gonna be great. That's what he said today, which I thought was hilarious. Anyway, um, they're working together. New York is the epicenter in the United States.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's the most cases in terms of the United States so far. At the
Really?
moment, from
I'm not
when I last
surprised,
heard.
but I think-
Yeah, not surprised at all. So New York needs a lot of help. Most deaths are in Washington State. That's a whole different thing.
Interesting.
But most
Okay.
cases so far in New York, from my understanding. But my point of this is that I don't know what my point is now, but my point was, I think, was things are looking real interesting here in New York. The gyms. We're talking about gyms. Gyms are closed. Restaurants
yeah.
are closed. Movie theaters closed, and we'll get to that shortly because that's what this whole podcast is all about. As we know, we talk about movies here. It's just New York has never, I guess, other than the first week after 9/11, has not been this closed down since that around that time period. And even then, it was still bustling. But now it's like no one's out. It's rare. Like if I look at my window right now, there's cars moving around, but it's not like it usually is. It's not loud. It's not ruckus. A ruckus going on. I was watching a live stream feed of Times Square earlier, and there's you could count the amount of people that were there. Let's just say that you could count the amount of people in the streets. So it's pretty wild.
Insane.
It's pretty wild. So if you and listen, our hearts go out to the people around the world, but Italy, I mean Italia, right? Like what is going on over there is extraordinary. Like the whole country is literally on lockdown. Stories about them having to, again, I don't want to stir rumors, but there's stories about them having to kick people out of hospitals to make sure that they get certain other people in hospitals. Sounds pretty wild, whatever's going on in Italy, so pretty crazy. And then, of course, China. First report today was that they have no new cases, which is
Which is good.
It's good, but can you believe them? Do you believe the Chinese government? Because they've also kicked out all American journalists from that country. So what information are we getting in terms of the truth? Are we getting the truth from them? They're also starting a weird. This is I found really interesting. I was reading on some sites. Antonio, this is you won't be surprised by this because neither am I. They're starting a new propaganda campaign that is blaming the United States for our new coronavirus problems.
I saw that.
What?
That's hilarious.
This
That's
is
hilarious.
our fault?
Of course it is.
Oh, it is wild. This is a wild, tumultuous time to live in. And then among other, like as you and I have said, 2020 is just starting. It started off poorly. Was it January 2nd? The end of the world was commencing, right? Wasn't that? It happened the next day, right?
Yeah.
Iran and North Korea, or whatever that was. And then
World War III, boys.
And now we are Friday, March 20th, and it's just total chaos, even more so. But we have a glimmer of hope, I think, which is being that we're all home, you get to listen to this podcast. But no, and all jokes aside, you get to watch movies at home now. Even more so with your family. You can sit down 6 feet apart. Don't get next to them.
Okay. That's not.
We got to do that social distancing, if you know what I mean, right, Antonio?
I hate that term.
Why? Why do you? Because I don't. I mean, I like it because it's very modern sounding. But explain to me, why do you hate that?
Because media outlets always come out with I hate to say it because just media outlets like to come up with these fancy terms like millennial and Gen Z or they love their little terminology, but social distancing to me is it's just to me a normal day of I don't want to go out to the party. Those memes where it's yo, I'm trying to come, yo, you leave your house yet? And then you're just nah. Yeah. I left like 5 minutes ago. Like that's what that means. So when this whole pandemic is gonna be over, I'm gonna keep that same energy. I'm gonna be like, nah, I'm just trying to social distance from, you know.
Uh,
I'm gonna keep that.
So that'll be when you start using the term, not now, but
Yeah,
now.
yeah. Like I'm gonna use it ironically.
Right. I'm
Like,
curious
yeah,
though. You made an interesting point there. Media outlets. I'm curious if they coined that phrase or was it doctors telling us to like, "Hey,
no,
we need you to social distance." I'm very curious.
no,
Yeah, you're probably right. I mean,
yeah.
I'll give you the credit there, but I wouldn't. But I also wouldn't be surprised if it was doctors. But yeah, and you know what? You know what's been making me crack up about just all of this? Ooh, apologies.
But
Two things. Again, to all of our Chinese friends and listeners, I think you guys need to be commended and applauded. So again, if you are Chinese, and I specifically mean, well mostly just any person that does this, but mostly it is Chinese people that do this. Is if you wear a mask, you shall never ever be again post any of this be laughed at because what's so funny about all this is whether it was 5 weeks ago, 2 years ago, 20 years ago, if anyone of Asian descent, but again, primarily Chinese people who do it, were wearing a mask in the street, people would look at them and laugh, get
oh yeah,
worried, and
right,
go, "Oh my God, he
right.
must have something."
Yeah.
And yet, all you see now is a bunch of, and I'm going to say this, white people, whatever, wearing
Yeah.
masks, and no one's saying a damn thing. And I think that's
Well,
really funny because it's just like, I bet you were the same person 18 months ago laughing at that poor Chinese guy wearing a damn
well,
mask.
you know how it is, Peter. You and myself are both minorities, right?
Right, yeah.
Um, and when the white man decides to make something cool,
It's
it's
cool.
cool, man.
Yeah, yeah, you're right.
It's called Columbusing. I mean, obviously,
Columbus.
right now, it's yeah, it's like appropriate, but like, you know,
Yeah. No,
like,
right now it's but it's going to become to the point where you're going to start seeing bedazzled masks at the stores.
oh, yeah, of course,
You're
dude.
going to start
Yeah,
seeing
yeah,
Nike
they're gonna steal.
selling
They're gonna steal that shit from Asian culture, they, like they steal a lot of other
anything. Yeah, no,
things
it's
from
just
culture.
fascinating. So again, I applaud those people that used to do it and still do it and have ever been made fun of because it's just unnecessary. It's and also what's another thing that a lot of again I don't know if this one is just Chinese or all, but again something you see a lot is wearing the not wearing but holding an umbrella, a sun umbrella, during a very
Oh
hot
yeah,
day. It's a very again I'm gonna say it's a very Asian thing to do. Again I don't know exactly
yeah,
targeted where,
yeah. You could
but it's just like
know
it's
that.
just something that you see that culture do a lot and not so much anywhere else. And then what happened? Back in the early 2000s, mid 2000s, people started going, "Oh my God, skin cancer," and then they started walking around with umbrellas. It's the same idea. But let's move on because
Well,
probably
I do
pissing
want
off a
to.
lot of our white fans.
Yeah.
No, go on, go on.
Uh, I will say this a little bit about the whole Asian thing.
You being Asian
It
yourself,
Yeah,
partly.
there is right now a huge xenophobic stigma against Asian American people, or
Yeah,
Asians in general.
yeah.
So if you know, I don't condone any of these actions. I recently posted on my Instagram about a song
That
that
was awesome.
group
That was fucking awesome.
uh, a group posted, basically singing or rapping about like the stigmas that Asian Americans feel today, and or like right now. And it's sad to see, but it's been happening for a long time.
Yeah.
It's a thing. But like even now, like right now, it's kind of like the post 9/11 type of thing, where like anyone with a turban, right, back then was like looked at and it was kind of like, oh shit.
Right. It was like, oh
Right
wait,
now,
I'm Sikh, not Muslim. It's like, oh fuck, whatever, you're all the same. It's like, no,
yeah,
dude.
exactly.
And even if
Exactly.
you are Muslim, you weren't to blame either. It's just like all that same shit.
Yeah, exactly. And like what sucks is uh, when like during that time when things were kind of slow, and when I saw certain people talking about like Asian people wearing masks in the train and stuff, and calling them certain, names and things, I felt kind of like annoyed by it because they're just like trying to protect themselves just in case if they, because you never know, right? Like they just mind their own business, let them do the things, and if just because you at that point in time, like a week or two ago, didn't think this disease was, you know, all that or not that important, kind of like how the Ebola scare kind of was here, where it was like, oh shit, it's here, but it's not really here. You know what I mean? Um,
Right.
and if you were those people, like, oh damn, why did these people have these masks or what? Oh shit, I just have to say to you, like, fuck off. Look at you now,
Right.
look how everything is now, So it's like, uh, it just be to people out there that are of Asian descent, just be careful,
Yeah.
watch your back,
Yeah.
because
People get
people,
stupid for no reason.
yeah,
They
yeah,
they
I'm
they
not, yeah, I'm not gonna preach violence or anything, but like, just be careful out there.
but
Some people are
also
just,
people are stupid. But also on the other side is if you're sick and you do have
stay
the
the fuck home.
virus, just stay home.
Stay the fuck home, man.
Most cities, most states have shut down. Most in the sense of there's not much to do outside. Most public the state government the federal government has told all Americans that a group of 10 or more is deemed unsafe, unhealthy, which means most states and cities have abided by those rules. So you should too. So
You know,
stay
you
home.
know what's crazy? You know what's crazy is that a lot of these people, like, at like us. It's unfortunate because there's not a lot of testing kits out there, and not everyone can get tested, unless you're part of like a big organization, like kind of like the NBA, because they know already somebody had it, and they're taking care of all that stuff,
Yeah.
or like higher up places because they can just hire a private firm to come in. Most people don't have that opportunity, and it's very, very unfortunate. But we're starting to move in the right direction. I've heard that they're starting to go with like a lot of drive-through stuff, and more kits are being tested out. But just stay home for now. Like we said, what's crazy about this virus, the incubation period is 14 days, right?
Right.
And most like colds and like, I mean, depending on flus, right? Most colds that you have usually last like like a week.
I think it's about
Tops,
like
most
five,
of the
10
time.
days. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you have like a regular cold, it'll be done within 5 days. And since everyone is right now forced to stay home, or most people are forced to go to like work from like home, or like, your job has been canceled for the most part, stay home for now. Don't be like this one idiot. I saw an article. Some dude got banned from fucking JetBlue because this guy was getting actively tested, got
Yes.
on a fucking plane,
Yes.
and
Yes. Yes.
flew to Miami from JFK,
Yeah. He
and then he got tested positive for it.
Yeah, and he
So it's
knew.
like,
Like he knew he was severely sick. Yeah, that's
so
good for him.
like,
It's like one of those things where it's like, good for the guy.
you know,
I
it's
did.
so, just stay the fuck home, people. If you really need something like crazy, if you need to go out, at that point, get someone to get you a mask, and then
Right.
communicate with them.
Well, there's a couple
Uh,
things too. It's like again, numbers are low. It doesn't mean
yeah,
that people aren't haven't contracted it. It also doesn't mean that more people can't contract it. All of these numbers are going to go higher, and all of these numbers are going to get a little bit more severe. I'm sure most people that have it are not gonna die, and they're gonna what do you call it? Get healthier. But these are all unknowns, so stay inside and just realize that you could call Uber Eats because
yeah,
all these restaurants that didn't have delivery service have it now
yep,
because that's what our governor has called for and other governors have called for. And it's just keep them in business too. Like that's another thing. So many businesses are going to close because of this. I've talked to Antonio before that businesses, if they don't reopen in 8 to 10 weeks, may never open again. And so, and many of us have lost our jobs. I, so far, knock on wood, doing pretty well with that. But not everybody has
Right.
has had that ability. So many other people are losing their jobs for bullshit reasons because now they're blaming it on the virus. It's just a wild
Yeah.
time. But I think something we should be talking about is things you could be doing while you're at home. And I think Disney, for all their ill will that they've contracted over the last couple of weeks.
Wait, ill will. What happened? Oh, why?
Well, I don't know if you knew this. So all of their
I thought they're
interns,
closing the parks.
they did. No, they did.
Okay. Okay.
Two things. All their interns, all their international and domestic interns were fired the day after all of the announcement that they were closing the parks. They
What?
told them, sayonara, bye-bye. And those were all the interns that either their program was ending in 2 weeks, and even the
Oh.
interns that their program was ending in the summer. And even,
How?
well, Disney gets to do whatever they want.
Yeah, fair enough.
They get to tell you to do whatever you want. So that's the ill will there. A lot of people are very angry at Disney, especially the people that were those interns. Another thing that Disney did that I think it was Walt's great granddaughter. And again, she has nothing to do with the company anymore, so she really has no say. But she didn't like what she saw, and she wasn't mad at Disney. She was mad at people that were attending Disney. Not so much Disney themselves. She was upset that there was so many people at the end of Disney's last day. There was
Oh, yeah.
a shit ton of people, and Disney celebrated it. They celebrated that it was their last day. They had some fireworks, a regular Disney bash. But it was a lot of people that were still there, and she was a little upset. She's like, "Are you people insane? Like the possibility of you spreading, if any of you have it." And so we got news that a 34-year-old man has passed away from the coronavirus. And guess what? He said he attended Disney World. So the question is,
Yikes.
when was he there? And the question is, if he was there the last day and he was with those people, have fun for those people.
Well, hopefully,
34 years old.
Oh,
That
good.
is... He might be so far the youngest to have died of the virus. I don't know if that in the United
America,
States at
maybe.
least. I don't know how true
Yeah.
that is.
maybe.
But again, anyway, what can you? So the good thing that Disney has done to all of our Disney fans. And actually, I did watch it the day it came out. They announced that Frozen 2 was going directly on Disney Plus 3 months early, or 3 weeks early. Three months or 3 weeks early. And I watched it. It came out Sunday, and I haven't seen it yet. What a fucking movie! Have you seen Frozen 2?
No, I haven't seen.
Have you seen
2.
Frozen 1?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
I
so
did.
Frozen 1, okay, massive hit, yada, yada, yada. It took the world over by storm. It lasted for 5 years and didn't want to go away.
Yeah.
Toys.
I feel like this movie was super swept under the radar, though. It came out and no one really talked about it.
Yeah, you know what's so strange, though? You're right, but you're also wrong in the sense of... You're right that yes, was swept under the radar. But you're wrong in the sense that it is now the #1 animated movie of all time.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
The fuck? Wait, how? Wait, hold
Go
on.
to Box Office Mojo. Type in Frozen 2. It beat Incredibles 2, which had beaten Frozen 1. It is the #1 animated movie of all time. Frozen 2. Isn't that wild? It is, dude. No, because when I heard that, I thought Disney was pulling our leg.
Highest grossing animated. What? What the fuck?
Right, under the radar.
Huh?
Because Disney played a.
You would think. Oh, sorry.
No, go on,
But,
go on.
you would think Disney would really like advertise that.
No, so they
Like,
did. So I saw an ad about that, like, go see the #1 animated film of all time, and I was like, Disney, stop pulling my leg. Stop pulling. This was like in January or something because they're still in theaters. And I was like, you're lying to me. You're lying. This is bullshit. And then I looked it up. I was like, oh my god, it is.
I find it hilarious that it topped. They topped their own movie.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean,
It's like,
yeah. I mean, Disney seems to keep doing that. Yeah, $1.446 billion.
huh.
Unbelievable. And they don't count The Lion King as animated, so that's why it's not.
Yeah.
It
yeah.
doesn't come out as, even though it would be, I think. But yeah, it doesn't count as animated. I don't know why, because that's exactly what it is. Just a different form of animation, but that's the complicated side of that. But you could be watching Frozen 2, or you could somehow go to the stores in a couple of days and get Rise of Skywalker. But you could also not go to the movie theaters because they're all closed.
See, that's what upsets me, man.
No, I
So
know.
if you guys are listening to this, Onward released like literally, I think this week or last week, and I wanted to watch that with our resident Pixar expert, the Matt Conklin
Yeah.
of WWE memes on Twitter, and also of the Dugout. I forgot what the fuck his Dugout thing is.
I think it's like it's
based on.
just literally the dugout. Yeah. He works.
Dugout
He works
Report.
for them. Yeah.
Yeah, of the Dugout Report or whatever, who frequents the show to watch Pixar movies with us, and also Pixar primarily. And I kind of want to watch that movie. That movie is really on my radar. Also, another movie was The Hunt, because it was just so wacky.
Well,
And it got a lot of hate early on.
Well, yeah, because
But, like-
it was supposed to come out last year and they pulled it. Another movie that's on everyone's radar is Mulan. I mean, there's no way that
Oh, yeah.
I wanted to
Fuck.
not see this movie, which I think is hilarious. You know how IMDb allows for early reviews, even though you've never seen the movie. Mulan's
Oh yeah,
currently
yeah.
at
That's like with Amazon. They're like pre-order for games.
yeah, Mulan's currently at 2.5 out of 10 on IMDb, and
I
on,
wonder why.
and on Google it's at like, what is it at? It's not doing well. Well, Google doesn't give you an aggregate on their movie, but it's not doing well either on Google, which is weird because from the people I know that I respect in the world of movie reviews have said that Mulan is just a what was it? Someone said that well, it was just well made and beautifully done. It makes you feel real good. Like, it's very positive reviews, right? It's not the greatest movie of all time, and no one was expecting that, but very positive reviews for Mulan.
Right.
But yet, people who haven't seen it think that it's the worst thing Disney's ever made. It's blah 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 blah. And it's
I
like-
wonder why.
Well, because they're probably all mad about the coronavirus, and they gotta blame some Asians. So they did. They did that. The movie hasn't been coming out yet. It was supposed to come out in a week. Not happening. Disney has pushed Mulan. They've pushed back Black Widow, which is strange because Black Widow wasn't supposed to come out until May. So the fact that they're even pushing Black Widow is shocking. Was it Universal's releasing The Hunt, The Invisible Man, and a couple... Oh, Trolls. Trolls is coming out... whenever the release date for Trolls is the date that it's coming out on VOD. Like, it's not even going to go to movies. Which I think was in May as well. It's fucking crazy. Oh, no, April. Sorry, April was Trolls. It is...
Wow.
First of all, I'm happy about all this. As a film fan, I don't care. Again, I prefer to watch it in the theaters, but at the end of the day, I want to see these movies. And so if I get to see it at home, I get to see it at home. Disney at the moment has no plans of releasing any of this to Disney Plus, and you can't blame them. Disney would rather re-release at a later date or, whatever. So you can't really blame Disney right now. But a studio like Universal, who's clawing for as much money as they can, they're gonna want as much as they can at the moment, and they're gonna want your rental fees and whatnot, or whatever it's gonna be. So I get that. They're also, who released Bloodshot? Whoever studio did that, that's coming out on demand as well, or streaming. I don't know who's doing it. But
Might be Sony.
Sony did Bloodshot.
I think they did. Let me double check that.
It's just a wild time. But I would say for those that are wondering what we're gonna do here at the freaking podcast is we're gonna continue to do our Friday episodes, but I think this is a really interesting idea, and I'll see how I'll do this weekend. But I think I'm gonna watch Mulan, the original Mulan. And
great fucking movie.
One of my ultimate favorite Disney movies. Probably my top 10 of all time Disney movies. And when I mean Disney, I mean Disney. I don't mean Marvel, Star Wars, Pixar. I mean Disney. It's definitely my top 10. It is probably one of my favorite princess movies. It's actually it is my favorite.
Is it considered? I mean, yeah, I guess.
Yeah, she's a Disney princess. Yeah. If you look it up officially on the Disney website, she's a Disney princess.
Yeah. She was in the Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
But I think I'm gonna watch it, and I think I'm gonna review it again, and release it on Monday. But we'll see how that goes because
Columbia.
Got to take
Columbia.
Yeah, so that's Sony.
But it's distributed by Sony.
No, Sony owns Columbia.
Okay. So
Yeah,
it is Sony. Okay.
Sony owns Columbia. So that's look at that. Bloodshot. So for those that like that shithead Vin Diesel, you could go watch Bloodshot. I don't like the guy. I don't like the guy. The guy I'm sure is fantastic. He's probably a great guy, but I don't like his acting. I don't like his acting abilities, if there is any in there. I just don't. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. But if you guys want to watch a movie, some recommendations. I mean, anything that's apocalyptic and pandemic related, I'd say watch. That's what I do. And any time of crisis, or any time of anything that's going on, I watch a movie about that thing that's going on. Is that weird? I don't know if you do that, but when baseball season comes around, I have this weird fervor of oh, let's watch a baseball movie. And so I do things like that. When high school used to start, and so I'd watch a high school movie and or a kid's school movie, stuff like that. Just because it's it reminds me of the thing that's happening. And so. Right. Go watch Contagion. Go watch Armageddon. Go watch. There's so many fucking pandemic movies that are out there that you can go check out. What's that one? I think it's Contagion. No, not Contagion. There was one back in the day that was it was a funny movie. It was like a comedy, and it had smiley faces.
What?
I'm making no fucking sense here. But when I find
next thing you're going to tell me Killer Clowns from Outer Space was also a pandemic movie.
No, I think it's an alien movie. Actually, not really a pandemic movie, but I guess it kind of falls into that.
Oh, hold up. I think I actually know what you're talking about, actually.
Do you?
I think I do, actually. Hold on.
I'm trying to look it up. I'm trying to this is not going well for our listeners, but I'm trying to smiley face. I don't know how to even look it up. Whoever's listening to this is going, it's this movie. You son of a bitch. Smiley face. I think it's a horror movie or alien movie. I don't know. But I recommend watching that movie. Oh, I got it. Evolution. Do you know what I'm talking about? Look up Evolution. This is the movie I'm talking about. In the logo, it's a smiley face.
Oh, yeah.
It's an alien movie.
Damn, this is a fucking...
It's a great movie.
It's in the thousands, right?
It's 2001. Yeah. It says it's a comedy that follows the chaos that ensues when a meteor hits the Earth carrying alien life forms that give new meaning to the term survival of the fittest. David Duchovny, Orlando Jones, Sean William Scott, Julianne Moore are the only people standing between the aliens and world domination. I liked this movie as a kid. It used to be on a lot. It's a weird movie.
Okay.
So
I actually do remember that. Actually, I don't think I've ever seen it, but I do remember the cover.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's a weird, great, shitty movie. It's one of those. Weird CGI, all the classic early 2000s stuff. Another movie I'd remind people to watch, is I don't know. Again, this isn't alien related stuff, but just watch any alien type of movie. Watch Alien. Watch Aliens. I don't know.
Watch Alien.
Yes.
Watch Alien.
Just having that weird moment there, but yeah, go just watch weird shit now. Like now's the time. It fits the landscape that we're living in.
I want to tell our listeners that Netflix has a thing on. It's like a Google Chrome extension. It's like Netflix movie party or something. And so, like, if you have Netflix, you can watch it with other friends, on your browser profile, and you could just like group watch. Like, if you guys remember the old school Xbox 360 Netflix app where you could like watch with with your party movies and stuff, it's kind of like that, but like in the safety of like your own home on a computer. So like if you have Skype, if you have like FaceTime, or like if you have like Discord or something, you guys can all just like jump into a lobby and then or in a call and just watch a movie all together. So like, totally do that.
I will say though, it is not affiliated with Netflix, so
No, it is not.
yeah. So we did not just condone you to steal Netflix from other people.
I'm not. I'm not.
No,
saying
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying, like, it's an extension that
Allows you to do it if you choose to do so.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't mind it. Just had to say that just in case. But no, that's pretty cool. It's also another thing of like, my girlfriend just what do you call it? She just hooked up a projector, and it has all her friends over, and they're chilling watching Disney Plus on a projector screen, it's just a fascinating thing, because you forget how big a projector screen can get, because it's all based on distance from the wall. So it can get almost as big as you want it to get, and it's like extraordinary.
Sure.
And so yeah, she's enjoying that, and that's pretty cool. So, but yeah, Netflix extension, that's kind of cool. Another thing is, I think now is another time to go to your local store if there's anything left. Get some popcorn.
Go to your local Blockbuster. Get some popcorn.
Go to your
Get a
local
movie.
Blockbuster. Go to your local Redbox. Don't contaminate the other discs with COVID-19. And don't you? You know what's interesting? I think they're gonna take a hit, right? Because it's physical stuff, right? And they don't clean the discs, and people start getting like, they're starting to be a little bit more aware and cautious of germs now. So they're probably going to be doing less Redbox than they were before. So that sucks for Redbox. But then again, whoever does Redbox, let's be honest, I've never done that.
I've never noticed that.
I've wanted
seen
to.
It around. I know some people have
Yeah, no,
I've
see it.
spectated people doing.
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
I haven't.
It's just never something I've ever even I thought about it, but then I was like, I'm going to forget to bring this back in 5 days. Nah. Because there's like a giant fee if you don't bring it back in a couple, all that bullshit. So it's like, I'm good. I'm a big fan of, I used to be, full disclosure, you're going to laugh at this. I used to be a big fan of NASCAR. And back in the day, they used to make a NASCAR game that was like really good. So good. There was like a whole career mode where you go from bottom to dirt racing all the way to the big series that we're all known, where all the big racers are driving in. But anyway, that ceased operations for a while. They haven't made games in years, and then they started making a game like 2 years ago, and then a year ago, and then now this year they have the new one, or something like that. And I was like, nah, I don't know. It's just fucking NASCAR. It's just riding in a circle. It's like, come on. I bought it.
I was like, yeah, I bought it.
I bought it. I've been playing some of it. Yeah, you get a little bit bored now that you're like, I'm almost 30. Got to start saying that now, right? Almost 30. Full disclosure, not really almost 30. But I get a little bit more bored now, but it's still a good time consumer. And so, like, I recommend, like, if you guys have something, like, play a bullshit mobile game to pass the time. And for all the kids that are at home that are just out of school, fucking respect your parents, man, because they don't need to be dealing with your bullshit. I saw a Twitter a post about someone going, "Now I see why teachers deserve to get paid so much." I'm like, now.
Oh, now you see that?
Now she's like, the lady wrote something like, I've been taking care of three. It was I forget the age, but it was a couple ages. And she's like, now I understand why teachers need to get paid so much. And she said, like, I demand they get paid $1 billion a year. Obviously a hyperbole number, but just funny stuff. It's just like these parents don't realize. But no, I think now's the time to watch movies. Watch as much YouTube. I mean, people are already doing that to begin with, but like this is a little fun experiment. I wonder, now that I'm curious what the Netflix numbers are going to be like now, and the Disney Plus numbers in terms of like viewers. Like, is it skyrocketed since the government told us to stay the fuck home?
I don't know, but I know that Steam has had its like record user in like a long time. This like past 2 weeks, it hit like some record breaking numbers. So that's crazy.
It's funny because I'm in the process of buying my aunt a computer, and I'm trying to see like what's the best thing to do, and I'm kind of scared now because it's like, all right, I should buy it right now because like God knows what the fuck's gonna happen in terms of China and Japan in terms of parts. Right? Does this mean that in 6 weeks all parts are gonna go skyrocket again in price? And then at the same time I'm going, yeah, but new stuff is coming out. But at the same time I'm also going, yeah, jackass, but how much of that new stuff is gonna be out? But then that causes the old stuff to drop in price, so it's like, oh, like I'm in this weird space right now. Of like, do I get the stuff or do I wait it out a little bit longer? Can she wait it out a little bit longer? Not really. Like, so it's like, it's really strange. Like, if you seen her computer, dude, you take it, unplug it, throw it out the window. There's really no need. That thing has been on its last leg, she said, for a long time. And I tried. It took me 3 hours. 3 hours to scan, I want to say 25 photos into the computer.
25 photos into the computer and it's dying already?
Took about 2.5 hours, 3 hours, because the computer just couldn't ingest that much information. It was like,
God, how old is this computer?
It's weird. Its original operating system might have been Vista, but she's been able to pump it. Okay. She's been able to pump it with 7, 8, and 10. But God, I haven't looked. I didn't look at its information. I don't know how many gigs of RAM it has. I don't know how much storage it has. I don't know anything. There's no video card. I know that because she's not a gamer. But
well, it has to have a video card.
Well, there's some sort of graphics in board on the Intel chip, like most computers used to be, and so, or like most computers are now. Like, a lot of people don't buy video cards because of onboard graphics. But I don't know what fucking. I gotta look it up. When I go there, probably on the weekend, because I am itching to know what she has, just so I can know like what to get her. Because I don't want to get her something that's like too overkill. And then it's like,
right.
Oh, I could have saved $300, or whatever. I want to see what she really needs, because then there's no, like, we could easily get her like a $300 system, or we could get her an $800 system, or we can get her a $700. Like, I don't know, but I also want her to be comfortable for years. I don't want her to be comfortable for 6 months, and then it's like, oh, this is outdated and bullshit. So it's really weird. But that has nothing to do with the podcast. I don't know why.
Yeah, why? That was a huge tangent.
Really big tangent. It's just because that's what's on my mind. But coronavirus.
So swinging it back onto, like, basically everyone's bunkering home and self-quarantining themselves. You know, my recommendation for people who are getting bored, if you're a gamer, play those, get past your backlog. If you're not, start reading books if you're into that. Watch some movies, read like stuff, surf the web. If you're into some, other things that might you want to do to relieve some stress, you could totally do that. But remember, social distancing, everybody. So
Well, that's one way of social distancing.
yeah, you know what I'm saying. You could do that stuff. And just chillax. Like you. So I saw this crazy video right while I was self quarantining and figuring out whether or not I was going to get paid at my job. I saw a video of a guy on speaking multiple different languages, like to different people, like on the internet, basically. And like he would just go up to them and he would look at it was a VR chat, if you know what that is. I believe most of our viewers know what that is, but like if they don't, VR chat is like a game. It's like a online forum. You take you use an avatar and then you walk around and you just talk to random people on different servers, play like different social games and whatever. And so like this guy would go up to random people, look at their names, and like try to converse with them. So like he saw this person with a Russian name, started speaking Russian to them. Turns out that person was fucking Korean, but they were speaking fluent Russian for some reason. I have no idea reason why. And then there was like another scenario. I'll link it to you. His name is this man's fucking breaking things in his house. And there was like another situation where like he walked up to a bunch of people speaking Japanese, right? He was speaking fluent Japanese to them, and then he finds out that like two of them are Mexican. What? Speaking fluent Japanese, by the way, like just two Mexican people, a person from Dubai and another person from Korea. I was just like baffled. I was like, oh, okay. And then at the end of the video, he does that shit to a bunch of other different people. And at the end of the video, he was like, hey, look, right now it's like the perfect time to like bunker down and like build habits to start learning things. And it doesn't have to be a language, but it could be like, like drawing or finishing writing or doing whatever like you want. Don't like basically try to waste time. Besides, working at your job and whatnot or doing homework and whatnot, but like, you're going to have a lot of time on your hands because you're just home for the most part. Use it wisely and build those habits to better yourself.
That's an excellent point.
What perfect time right now his main thing was like to learn a language, right? What perfect time to learn a language right now? Because it's such like a global disease and pandemic right now that everybody like all around the world has it. There's Spanish-speaking countries having it. Italy has it. A bunch of Asian countries having it. And it's just like it's perfect time to just like learn stuff, do stuff while you're at home.
Yeah,
everyone everyone has like, oh man, if I wish I had the time, and right now it's perfect, I'd say.
Yeah, if you're able to. I mean, there's I sadly still have to work. No, but there are plenty of people that do have this newfound 24-hour clock that they didn't have before, that they could totally do something interesting. Yeah, like you said, what was it? Joey Diaz, the comedian. He said he went into Walgreens and he bought packets of notebooks for himself and for his friends, so that he just gave them to people. He was like, listen, now that you have the time, just write shit, just do it, and he's right. Use this, like you said, use this time to better yourself. Read a book or do something. Learn how to cook something. With all this food you just bought at Stop and Shop and Kroger and Walmart and wherever else you guys are shopping, you learn a new recipe with those new foods. I mean, that's what I did that twice already.
Nice.
Yeah, no, freaking wild shit that I made today. But it's just, you're right. Better yourself in these times, because it only keeps you sane. If not, you become Mike, and you go crazy.
Yeah, yeah. You end up becoming Mike, and you know, pulling the gray hairs out of your skull,
Yeah.
uh,
Start going
trying to do
wacko.
something. So, you know, try to do your best to keep sane. You know, everybody, stay safe, protect yourself, and you know, wash your hands.
Oh my god. It quickly before we end the episode just goes to show you not everybody washes their hands.
Oh, yeah. I do want to say something. So, but before we close it off, but are you gonna?
Yeah, no, I just go like at my job and just I've noticed at other places I haven't seen so many people wash their hands ever in my life. Which terrifies me to prior of this moment. So yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I will say so at my job, literally 2 3 weeks ago, um, you know, the pandemic was like basically starting out of China. Italy was got hit really hard. That whole stuff with the Iranian health official guy, official guy, you know, all that stuff was happening, and you know, it was becoming a very serious thing. And the place that I would work at, you know, constantly said, you know, wash your hands, take care of yourself, you know, for 20 seconds, whatever, the basic shit. So I go to the bathroom. I need to use the bathroom. You know, I wash my hands. I do whatever. As I'm leaving, I see a guy. You know, a guy comes in after me, uses the bathroom, and then he just kind of like just walks out. And I kind of was just like, oh wow, so you touched your private parts, and you just walked the fuck out, while also this pandemic is happening. I am scared for the person who dabs you up, because you're nasty.
Yeah, not even just that. Let's say he didn't touch himself. He still touched the door. He still touched the other handle, possibly, to another door, maybe, you know, or he touched something that was likely dirty because of other people as well. And it's just like, ew. Also, like, didn't your parents ever teach you proper hygiene? And
No,
don't you care about yourself? And don't you
no.
care? It's just really sad. It's just like, and then the here's the part that gets me. This is why it always reminds me to wash my hands, other than like what I just mentioned, which is, you know, in 5 minutes I might be grabbing something to eat. You know, I don't want shit literally in my hamburger or whatever. Like that is another inclination to go wash my hands. It's like, oh, I'm gonna be eating in 5 minutes or whatever. It's like, oh man, I don't get it. I've never not I don't think I've ever not done that. Like I that's so strange. I find that to be like not putting your seatbelt on. Those are like the two things in my life that's like, oh, I find it really odd when other people don't do those things. Like it irks me to like the point where I'm like, ah. So it's just very strange. Always put your seatbelt on and always wash your hands. But then again goes back to the grocery store thing of like, oh, these are the things that people are buying. Like at the grocery store, the things that are gone are okay. Nose tissues like Kleenex, I get that, fine. Toilet paper, don't really understand that, but okay, fine. Paper towels, I kind of get that as well. Most paper products gone, right? What makes me laugh that's missing from the stores are pasta, pasta sauce, soda. But then the soda companies are doing a really good job. They keep replenishing. And what else is it? Orange juice, totally get that. I totally get why that's missing. That's probably like the only thing I get that's gone. Because, you know, vitamin C, all that bullshit. Medicines are gone. I understand that. But not really. Because these are people that... And people do this regularly and it pisses me off. If they have the flu, they'll take like a sinus medicine. It's like, that's not going to do anything for you. It might clear up your sinuses, but you're still going to have the flu bacteria in your... Anyway. Here's what's not missing from the store. Oh, meat is also missing from the stores. What makes me laugh that's not missing from any grocery store I've been to is fresh produce. That is still at every grocery store. And it's just
Really?
it's sad.
No one's eating the vegetables?
No one's eating what they're supposed to be eating, which is what's going to help you prevent another virus. good greens, lemons, ginger. It's
Well, you know what? You know what the
apples.
people on the internet are saying right now, Peter.
What?
You know, what they're saying is, natural selection is gonna just take out everybody out. You know
Oh,
what I'm saying?
I'm a big. I don't know if you know this about me, and I think you do. I'm a huge proponent of that. Like, I understand. Like, okay, it's not eugenics. That's a completely different thing. That is wiping out people, like, by human hands. I'm a big proponent of understanding natural selection. Like, there are certain people that need to be weeded out, and these are these
Wow.
people. No. I shouldn't be saying that live on this, but it's true. Like, there's a lot of people that just say or do stupid shit that just don't. Not that they don't need to live. That's a whole different question. But they don't deserve to benefit from society. And it's just crazy. It's wild because what's also missing from grocery stores are like everything that's frozen, which I kind of get because like it could last longer than something that's fresh. But what's also not missing is frozen vegetables and fruits. Those are still there. What?
You see what I have everybody beat in?
What?
So I got a stash of Twinkies. I'm gonna survive this.
But that's the
I'm gonna
Yeah.
survive this.
yeah. And then you wonder why you get the flu. 'Cause your body's not prepared. No, but it just makes me laugh. It's just like really funny. I'm like the things that you should be buying, and I'm not like forcing people. I'm not Michael Bloomberg telling you can't drink a large soft drink. It's just things you should be buying to prevent future disease is what's not being purchased, and I think that's just a weird thing to me. I find it so strange. Ugh, doesn't make sense. Like ice cream's missing from stores, and yet right next to the ice cream is the frozen strawberries, and they're still there. And I'm just like, really, people? Like, it's so weird. I found it so strange. But that's Staten Island. Again, I don't know if that's the case around the city or around the country or around the world, but that is the good old people in Staten Island, New York. What a bunch of weirdos.
Gotta. Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah. But anyway, this
Anyway.
this has been our podcast, and again, I urge you keep listening to us.
Stutter.
We are. I know it was weird. Keep listening to us, and we will be reviewing older movies. Being that there's no new movies coming out, we will be reviewing older movies. And being that I haven't seen The Invisible Man yet, and that it's coming out, might even review that. So keep that in mind. Keep that in your thought bubble. Yeah, this has been a weird long episode. Again, we're all quarantined. I haven't left the house. I left the house today, but I haven't left the house in a couple of days. So it's been very. I don't even know if I didn't have a date calendar thing. What did I just say? Ooh, if I didn't have a calendar on my computer, I wouldn't know what day it was. That's how weird it's been. So that's another thing to keep your head clear of, is always check your calendar. But anyway, we've been Facts Not Included. I've been Peter, and I've been joined by the great Antonio.
You see, y'all.
Yeah, so we'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Peace out.